What if the reason your life is stressful is because you say yes too much? That is the kind of sentence that sounds wise at 2 in the morning when your homework is open. Your room is a disaster, and one motivational guy on your phone is whispering like he personally invented self-respect. He says, successful people protect their time. He says, winners say no. He says, every yes is a no to your future. And because you are tired, dramatic, and holding a half-eaten snack like it is emotional support, you decide this is the solution to every problem you have ever had. For 1 week, you will say no to everything. Not some things, not bad things, everything. You do not write down rules because that would require thinking. And thinking is exactly how people end up saying yes. You just wake up Monday morning with the confidence of a person who has misunderstood one quote and turned it into a lifestyle. The first test comes immediately. Your mom asks if you can take the trash out before school. Normally, this is a basic human task. The bag is already tied. The door is 10 steps away. But this is day 1 of your new personality. So you look at the trash bag like it is a corporate contract and say, no. Your mom pauses. Not angry yet, just loading. She says, what do you mean no? You say, I am setting boundaries. This is the first time in history someone has used the word boundaries to avoid banana peels. Your mom stares at you for 3 full seconds and says, your boundary can walk to the bin. You take the trash out anyway, but emotionally, you count it as a no because you did say the word first. On the way to school, you feel powerful. You feel mature. You feel like a CEO. Except your backpack has a broken zipper, and there is a worksheet inside that has been folded into a shape no teacher requested. At school, your friend Ryan walks beside you and asks if he can borrow a pen. This is dangerous. A pen is small. A pen is harmless. That is exactly how yes gets you. Today, it is 1 pen. Tomorrow, it is a group project. Next week, you are carrying someone's emotional baggage and their science fair volcano. So you say no. Ryan looks confused. He says, bro, you have 3 pens. You say, exactly. I am protecting my resources. He looks at your pencil case, then at your face, then back at the pencil case, like he is trying to decide if this is a joke or the beginning of your villain arc. First period starts. The teacher asks who wants to read the first paragraph. Usually, nobody raises their hand because classroom volunteering is social cliff diving. But today, you are ready. You do not raise your hand. That is a no. Powerful. Clean. Silent. Then the teacher looks directly at you and says, can you read? This is not fair. Direct eye contact changes the terms of the deal. You say no. The whole class turns around. The teacher blinks. She says no, as in you cannot read. You panic because technically that is not the brand you were building. You say, no, I mean yes, but no to reading right now. The class makes that quiet sound people make when someone has created a problem out of air. The teacher sighs and picks someone else. You sit back like you just won a legal battle, even though your face is hot and your notebook is open to a page where you have written 1 word. Boundaries. At lunch, the power grows. Ryan asks if you want to sit with everyone outside. You say no. Maya asks if you want some fries. You say no. Someone asks if you are okay. You say no. Then realize that was honest by accident. So you quickly say yes. Then remember the challenge and say no again. Now everyone is watching you like you are buffering. Maya says, are you doing a thing? You say, I am reclaiming my time. She says, from fries? You look at the fries. They are warm. They are golden. They are exactly the kind of thing a wheat person would accept. You fold your hands and say, especially from fries. 10 minutes later, you are starving. This is the first crack in the system. Saying no to homework help feels strong. Saying no to social pressure feels cool. Saying no to fries feels like betrayal from yourself. You try to eat your own lunch, but your sandwich has become warm in a way sandwiches should not become warm. After school, your cousin texts you asking if you can help move a small table. You type no before you even finish reading. Then he replies, "Okay, I was going to pay you." You sit up. Suddenly, your boundaries have encountered capitalism. You type how much, but that feels like a yes wearing fake glasses. So you delete it, you stare at the phone. Your cousin sends another message. "Never mind, I asked Jay." You say out loud, "Good for Jay," with the voice of someone who is not good with Jay. 10 minutes later, Jay posts a picture holding cash. You zoom in like detectives do in movies, except the crime is your own stubbornness. Day 2 begins with your confidence slightly damaged, but still alive. You decide yesterday was practice. Today you will be smarter. You will say no only when it protects your time. This is a better rule, a normal rule. Then your brain, which loves ruining normal things, adds, "But everything protects your time if you argue hard enough." In math class, Daniel leans over and asks if you understand the homework. You actually do, which is rare enough that scientists should preserve the moment. He asks if you can explain one question. You say no. He says, "Just one." You say, "That is how they get you." He says, "Who is they?" You look around the classroom like the answer might be written on the walls. You say, "People." Daniel slowly turns back to his own paper. 5 minutes later, the teacher says the homework will be collected in pairs, and partners may compare answers first. You turn to Daniel with a friendly smile. Daniel smiles back and angles his paper away. That is when you learn the first hidden cost of saying no to everything. People remember, not in a dramatic revenge way, worse, in a calm, reasonable way. Daniel is not mad. He is simply applying your own policy back to you, which feels illegal because policies are only fun when you use them on other people. At lunch, the group is planning to watch a movie Friday. Ryan asks if you are coming. You say no automatically. Maya says, you do not even ask what movie. You say, "I am protecting my schedule." She says, your Friday schedule is losing at video games and checking the fridge every 9 minutes. That is private information, but unfortunately accurate. You still say no. Everyone shrugs and keeps planning. This is not the reaction you expected. You expected persuasion. You expected people begging. You expected someone to say, "Please, the group needs you." Instead, they say, "Okay." Somehow okay hurts more than rejection. Day 3 is when the word no starts coming out before your brain approves it. Your teacher asks, "Did you bring your assignment?" You say no, even though it is in your bag. She says, "You did not bring it?" You say, "Wait, yes." She says, "So you did." You say, "No, I mean yes." The class turns around again. You reach into your bag and pull out the assignment like a magician revealing a rabbit nobody wanted. The teacher takes it slowly, like the paper might explain what is wrong with you. It does not. It is just homework, and somehow even the homework looks disappointed. Later, your phone buzzes. Your sister asks if you want pizza because she is ordering. You say no. Then your stomach makes a sound like a chair being dragged across a haunted floor. Ryan hears it from across the room and says, "Did your backpack just growl?" You say no, because now you are committed to lying to your organs. By day 4, people have adjusted to your new personality. This is the worst possible outcome. Nobody asks you for small favors anymore. Nobody offers you snacks. Nobody invites you to quick plans because they assume the answer is no. You wanted freedom, but you accidentally became a closed store with the lights on. At first, you pretend this is peace. Peace is quiet. Peace is nobody bothering you. Peace is sitting alone during lunch while your friends laugh at another table because the movie plan has become a whole event. Peace is watching them act out scenes you have no context for while you bite into a sad sandwich. Maya walks over and asks, "Are you really not coming Friday?" This is your chance. This is the door opening. A normal person would say, "Actually, I changed my mind." But your challenge has 2 more days, and you are addicted to finishing bad ideas. So you shrug and say no. Maya nods. She says, "Okay, I just wanted to check." Then she walks away. No argument, no drama, just gone. You suddenly understand that not every no protects you. Some no's just build a small fence, and then you stand behind it wondering why nobody visits. Day 5 is when the challenge starts fighting you directly. The school announces a club fair. You pass the tables with a serious face. Art club asks if you want to join. No. Basketball club asks if you play. No. Debate club asks if you like arguing. You almost say yes because finally, a group that understands you're weak. But the rules are the rules, so you say no. The debate kid says, "Are you sure?" You say yes. He smiles because he got you. You stand there frozen, realizing you just said yes to confirm a no. He says, "Interesting." You walk away before he can recruit you using grammar. After school, Ryan sends a message to the group chat. "Extra ticket for Friday. Anyone want it?" Your thumb hovers over the keyboard. You could say yes. The universe has given you a second chance. Then someone else replies first. Maya says, "I will ask my cousin." The ticket disappears in 4 seconds. You stare at the chat like it personally betrayed you. But it did not. This is the worst part. Nobody did anything wrong. They just moved around the hole you created. You thought saying no would make people respect your time. Instead, they started respecting your absence. Day 6, Saturday, arrives. You wake up with no plans, which sounds good until it becomes the entire day. Your phone is quiet. Too quiet. You open every app like one of them might apologize. Nothing. You check the group chat. They are sending photos from the movie. Everyone looks happy. Someone is holding fries. That is unnecessary. You zoom in. They are good fries, crispy, golden, emotionally rude. You throw your phone onto the bed and say, "No, I do not care." Your phone bounces once and lands face up, showing another photo of everyone laughing. Your phone is now disagreeing with you through evidence. Your mom asks if you want to go grocery shopping. You almost say no. Then you imagine another 4 hours alone with your thoughts, and your thoughts have become terrible company. You say yes. Your mom looks surprised, like you just performed a rare trick. She says, "Are your boundaries coming?" You say, "My boundaries need snacks." At the store, she asks you to get milk. You say yes. She asks you to grab eggs. You say yes. She asks you to push the cart. You say yes. And weirdly, the world does not collapse. Nobody steals your identity. Nobody turns you into a servant. You just help and then buy chips. This is confusing. The internet made it sound like saying yes would destroy your future. But here you are, saying yes to cereal and still having dreams. Maybe the problem was never yes. Maybe the problem was saying yes to things you resent, then acting like people forced you with mind control. Day 7 is the final day. You decide to end strong by using no correctly, not dramatically, not automatically, correctly. At school on Monday, Ryan asks if you can help him cheat on homework by copying your answers. You say no. Clean. Simple. Beautiful. Ryan says, "Fair." Daniel asks if you can explain one part instead. You pause. This is different. It takes 5 minutes, you understand it, and he is not asking to copy, so you say yes. Daniel looks suspicious, like he expected a speech. You explain the problem. He understands. Nobody loses their future. Shocking. At lunch, Maya asks if you want fries. This is the final boss. You look at the fries. They look back. You say yes. Not because you are weak, because you want fries. That is allowed. You take one, and it tastes like personal growth with salt. Then Ryan asks if you are coming next Friday, if they plan something. You say maybe. Everyone goes quiet. Not because maybe is dramatic, but because it is the first normal answer you have given in a week. Maya says, wow, he has discovered options. You laugh because she is right. You did not need to say yes to everything. You did not need to say no to everything. You needed to stop treating every small request like a battle for your soul. A favor is not always exploitation. An invitation is not always pressure. A fry is sometimes just a fry. The real lesson is that no is powerful when you mean it. No is useful when something is wrong, too much, unfair, or not for you. But if no becomes your entire personality, people will eventually believe you. They will stop asking. They will stop inviting. They will stop checking. And then you will be free. Technically, free to sit alone, eat a warm sandwich, and watch your friends have the kind of week you were trying to protect yourself for. So yes, learn to say no. Just maybe do not say no to the fries.